First and foremost, give it honor and praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash, bless Yahweh, bless Yahushai, Rakatah Yahweh, Rakatah Yahushai, call Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Kalam La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash, Shalom to the elect, Shalom to the hopeful, like a Shalom to Yahweh, expressing His word in truth and sincerity. A real quick one through the Spirit. Welcome back to another lesson, another video. And this is what part 2 through the Spirit response to Casper Holmes question, which you asked in what part 1, if power, the Heavenly Father Yahweh finds it so important for us to believe in Him, why did He put that faith in our minds? And then he said something to the effect, don't come up with free will, please, as if it was what he answered to what his question. Well, there's no such thing as free will, okay? And you should already know that by the part 1 of the lesson, okay? As you can see right here, Casper Holmes, don't come up with free will, please. Okay, so no free will, all things were written beforehand, predestined, determined, ordained by the Heavenly Father Yahweh. And now you're what? Playing those things out. Okay, this is what the Heavenly Father movie, the Heavenly Father Yahweh's movie, okay? Okay, all the things that you do, it was written that you would do these things and you were doing them what? Now. Okay, so when you're atheist, you're thinking to yourself that you made yourself not believe, it's laughable, okay? It was written that you don't believe, okay? That you wouldn't believe, and what? Once again, there's no such thing as free will, man. Okay. Okay, we're gonna grab some of these scriptures through the Spirit. Okay, for you atheists. Okay. And then it's really laughable that you atheists, you come out of nowhere telling us this BS, so you don't believe in the Heavenly Father and all that. Okay, are we supposed to praise you? Are we supposed to give you a cookie or something? Huh? But Romans 3:3, for what if some did not believe? Shall the unbelief make the faith of power without effect? Okay? God forbid, yea, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Okay? And what? You saying that you don't believe it? That's to you, man. And what? Death is in the power of the tongue. Okay, and with every idle word that thou shalt speak. Okay, you shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Okay. Okay, and what? 2 Corinthians 15. Okay, all the unfaithful. Okay. Say Edges 15, 15, 1 to the 4th verse. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I put in thy mouth, say the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in the paper, for they are faithful and true. Roughly perhaps what these words are, what? Faithful and true. Okay. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not their incredulity, meaning what? The unbelief. Okay. Going back to no free will, and for you atheists, taking yourself to be something that you are not, if somebody so care that you don't believe, disbelief, okay? So fear not their imagination against thee, let not their incredulity, meaning what? The unbelief of them trouble thee, that speaketh against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Okay? All the unfaithful shall die, okay? And what you was just not made to be faithful. Okay, and to have faith. It's simple as that. Okay, you're not chosen, you're not an elect. Okay? You are not predestined, chosen to be justified and glorified. Okay? And what if our gospel be hid? Okay, it is hid to them that are lost. Okay? Second Corinthians 4 and 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are what? Lost. Okay, and what it was written for some to be lost, rather to find their way. Okay, once again, no free will. Okay? And what the fool say in his heart, meaning his mind, that there's no power, that there's no God. Okay? To the chief musician of a psalm of David, the fool hath said in his heart, meaning his mind, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There's none that do it good. Okay? You say that, there's no Heavenly Father, there's no the higher power, there's no Heavenly Father Yahweh. But what you are what? Corrupt. Okay, you are abominable. You have nothing but abominable works. Okay. And nothing you do is what good, man. Okay, you got nothing to show for yourself. Okay. It's simple as that. 2 Edges 8 and 58. Second Edges 8 and 58. And said in their heart, meaning the mind, that there is no power, yea, and that knowing they must die. Okay? As simple as that. Okay, you are not chosen, you're not an elect, you're not predestined, predetermined, ordained to be chosen, justified, and glorified. Okay? Okay, there's no free will, okay? And what man's going is what of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Okay, how can a man understand his own way? Okay. So for those not given faith, okay, and not made to be faithful, the Heavenly Father, what made you that way? Okay. The Heavenly Father made you that way. Once again, there's no free will. Every breath you take, okay, you wake out of sleep. Every step you take is of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Okay, nothing is of yourself. You watching this video right now, and so forth, is not of yourself. So Proverbs 20 and 24, man's goings are of the Lord Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? Okay. As well as Proverbs. Okay. Okay, that's a good one as well. Yeah, Proverbs 6 and 9. A man heart, meaning what his mind devised his way, but the Lord Yahweh directed his steps. Okay, everything you think you're doing of your own self, you're not doing it. Whoever ever resists his own will. We got plethora of scriptures, man. That what you do is not of yourself. No free will. Okay? Even the Heavenly Son, Yahweh Shai, don't have no free will. I came not to do my own will, but of him that sent me. Meaning what? The Heavenly Father Yahweh. Okay? So even the Heavenly Son don't have no free will. Okay? Okay? Even the angels can't disobey. Sirach 18, 1 to 2 on down. All things obey the Heavenly Father will. Okay? Okay? So once again, it's laughable. Okay. So going back, you know, okay, everything was written beforehand. Going back up, okay, everything was what written beforehand, and those things you are doing them now. Okay, and they playing out now. Once again, this is the Heavenly Father movie. Okay, okay. So Job 13 and 15. Okay, okay, slug, yeah. Very, very good chapter and verse. The spirit, withdraw. Man from his purpose. Okay. So is Khan. Okay, Job 33. Okay. Salakia. To water for bearing with me. So it was Salaki for that. Job 33. So that was a mistake right there. Okay. So Job 33, 15 to 17. In a dream, okay, when you sleep, when man falling asleep, when sleep falling upon man. In a dream and in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falling upon man and slumbering upon the bed, then he, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, opened the ears of men and sealed their instruction daily, man. Okay, you wake up, that was of the Heavenly Father, for you to wake up at that appointed time, for you to take a breath at that appointed time. Okay, you take a step at the appointed time. Your bowels move at a appointed time. Okay, Matthew, roughly breakfast 10:29. The Heavenly Father sanctioned everything, man. Okay, the good, the evil, the good and the bad, everything. Okay, then he opened the ears of man and sealed their instruction that he may withdraw man from his purpose. Going to Proverbs 6:9, and hiding the pride from man. Going back to Proverbs 6:9, it explained it for itself. A man heart divided his way, but the Lord Yahweh directed his steps, that he may withdraw man from his purpose. Oh, I was gonna do this, I was gonna do that, I was gonna do that. Nah, no. The Heavenly Father said you're gonna do this today. And that's exactly what you're gonna do. Okay? That he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide the pride from men. Okay, so all things that you do, okay, when you wake up, you think of it that it's of yourself, you're sadly mistaken. Okay? So going back to the the question that you asked, part two, through the spirit, response to Casper Holmes' question, if power found it so important for us to believe in, why didn't he put that faith in our minds? And then you said, what? Don't come up with the free will, please. As an answer to your question. And what? Well, there is no such thing. Okay? There's no free will. Okay? Okay? It was written beforehand, predestined, predetermined, ordained that some would have fate, some are chosen, some are not chosen, some will not have fate, some will be justified and glorified, and some won't. Okay? So the no free will to your question, no. Okay, man wasn't on given fate of himself. Okay, but that's about all I wanted to grab through the spirit. And what I rock desire, y'all rock desire, Lord willing. This was edifying. Okay, until the next Shalom.
Oh man, no. You got to understand the definition of words. All right. And the water, man, the water for doing that, backing up, because, if you come with something, man, without really thinking, you got to understand that there's a consequence for your rash words.